Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and good day, and good morning, wherever you are. It gives me great pleasure to be addressing you on World Environment Day. Ladies and gentlemen, today is the right time to take stock of the state of our planet, especially as we're still navigating the current pandemic. Since last year, humanity has been living with the consequences of our broken relationship with nature because we are yet to experience the full consequences of a changing climate. It is also a fact that we have and still overexploiting biodiversity to the point of a human-created sixth extinction, exacerbated further by other human-created climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, biodiversity refers to all the varieties of life forms that can be found on Earth, as well as to the communities that they form and the habitats in which they live. Forests are home to most of the world's terrestrial biodiversity, and they provide us with a wide array of services ranging from cleaner air, water to natural foods consumed by 1 billion people and cooking fuel for 2.4 billion people. Forests also have a direct impact on human survival, providing more than 86 million green jobs and supporting the livelihoods of many others. We must do more and better to ensure the protection of nature's gift. Obtaining sustainable benefits from forests means paying more attention to their needs, which are actually our needs too. The degradation and loss of forests and biodiversity is a contributing factor to disrupting nature's balance and increasing the risk of human epidemic diseases in general. While global deforestation slowed in the last decade, some 10 million hectares are still being lost every year, and alongside them, a vital species. Ladies and gentlemen, the world-changing coronavirus, previous zoonotic diseases like Ebola, Zika, chikungunya, and many other pathogens are a direct result of underinvesting in and overexploitation of nature through short-term extraction and ongoing encroachment. The evidence is clear that the main driver of deforestation is agriculture expansion, non-rational land use, and plantation for meat, oil, and cereal production, followed by subsistence farming activities, account for 75% of tropical deforestation. To turn the tide, we need to innovate and implement sustainable agricultural practices that leverage nature-based solutions and protect biodiversity. Agriculture's own function and resilience depends on biodiversity to support pollination services, water cycling, soil, and erosion controls. Protecting biodiversity is not only important for the environment, it is also a precondition for more diverse, healthy, balanced, and nutritious diets. It is clear that we have to change course and our way of doing business. We will need to invest more in nature so that she is better able to do her job and better provide for us. But the only thing that, of course, question us is how much will it cost? Ladies and gentlemen, the economic cost of biodiversity and ecosystem services is increasingly being flagged in conversations. Fortunately, the narrative is now changing in as much as we have started speaking on the cost of inaction. It is estimated that the benefits of protecting 30% of the world land and ocean outweigh the costs by a factor of at least 5 to 1. This is why we need to put in place integrated landscape approaches. Forests can be conserved and managed in ways that create jobs, reclaim ecosystems, and improve habitats for people and nature alike. Ladies and gentlemen, the IMF has estimated that 10 trillion of US dollars have been spent so far on official COVID-19 measures worldwide, and is forecasting that the global GDP has contracted by 4.9% only in 2020. An economic assessment follows an urgent call from scientists to protect at least 30% of the Earth's land and sea by 2030 to halt the collapse of biodiversity and the associated ecosystems. Protecting 30% of the world's land and ocean would require just 0.016% of global GDP. We have to concede that is like a very low insurance premium and an incredibly safe bet on a system that has proven its sound productivity for over 3 billion years. Expanding protection to at least 30% of the world's land and ocean and effectively managing it would require an average investment of around 140 billion US dollars annually by 2030, which is less than 1/3 of the government subsidies currently directed to activities, mainly extractive industries, that precisely destroy nature. This investment would mean short-term net cost, but they will also offset by financial benefits over time. Ladies and gentlemen, the shocks from COVID-19 have painfully and miserably revealed the flaws and injustices in our economic, political, and social systems. Maybe nature is speaking to us. Whatever it is, we are where we are. And in this horrible moment, we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to reset where we want this trajectory to go, not just for us, but for future generations of all of life and its diverse, rich magnificence. Charles Darwin once wisely said, and I quote, "It is only the strongest of the species that survive. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change," unquote. Will we evolve to invest in the foundation of our existence and rebroker our deal with nature for our long-term gain? Can we stop exploiting nature's energies for our own purposes only? Will we bend the arc of our economic and political systems to serve not just today, but tomorrow and the day after? Human ingenuity, innovation, and cooperation have brought us this far, but we must push through with every tool at our disposal, underpinned by science, data, and technology, to align truth with transparency, effective management to avoid sinful waste, and compassionate and loving relationship, leadership, kindness, and empathy towards each other and the rest of life on this planet. Nature knows what to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to keep at least half of our planet in a natural state and protect 30% of it by 2030. Just like us, our human race, other species have jobs, homes, and families too. We benefit from their productivity and output. Their byproducts keep us alive, and it's called oxygen. Just as we need to invest in our children, we need to invest in native species, as they are our most cost-effective insurance towards stability and free services, vital for our survival. Nature's creatures not only help us avoid misery, they are talented, magical, and glorious in their own right. In addition to doubling down on what is left on the wild, we need to responsibly manage the rest. If we do so, we can support and feed the projected global population of 10 billion people by 2050. Ladies and gentlemen, hope is allowed, as there are many wonderful illustrative projects in responsible tourism, regenerative agriculture, and sustainable fishing and forestry that can be scaled for local communities to steward local resources in ways that allow people to live in harmony with nature for the long run and build resilient supply chains from the ground and up. However, it all starts from the foundation of those that were here long before us and that we all take for granted, all the other species that live on Earth. Ladies and gentlemen, just think for 1 minute. If we were to compress this planet's entire geological timescale to 24 hours, mankind would have appeared a few seconds before midnight. Can we justify and account for so much harm? Let us think about it. And more importantly, let us do something about it. I thank you for your attention.